welcome to Back to the Drawing Board with Scott Lucas and Dixie Normus. How you doing, Dixie? We'll get hold of Dixie later on. Today's video, electric shop furnace insulation. And here we go. We got the feet put on, welded. Just made a template for the lid using these glue-on strips, hot glue. You just glue them together. Get you a pretty good template for what you want to do, providing you label everything, top, bottom, where it indexes on the piece. So we're gonna go on here in a minute and fill the bottom with some insulation, with some refractory insulation. We'll see how that. Gonna mix up the refractory insulation. We got our homemade sodium silicate. We got our sand. This is bentonite clay. Well, okay, I'll explain that in a minute. And vermiculite. In order to put an 1.5 inch layer in the bottom of that furnace, it's supposed to take 28 cups. Now I split that up. This is 8 cups of sand, 8 cups of clay, and 13 cups of vermiculite. Now this clay here is this product here. Okay, it's diatomaceous earth, which is silica, with bentonite clay, calcium bentonite. It's supposed to be some kind of chicken food or something, I don't know. Found it at Tractor Supply and I was intrigued. Look at how fine this stuff is. Okay, now this isn't sand, this is coal slag, all right, for sandblasting. We're gonna make this mix, and I'm almost confident that this is gonna work out really well. Now, for all the safety police out there, I have to notice that I do have my sodium silicate marked with a danger label. Alright, oh, and then we're gonna go ahead and mix and repeat, mix and repeat, mix and repeat. Yeah, we'll see what happens here in a minute. Alright, after a good mixing, and with my fancy measuring cup, about 22 to 24 ounces of sodium silicate in here. And here's what we got. Now we're gonna pack it in the bottom of that furnace, and then we're gonna see how that cures out. I might have to put some heat to it to get it to cure out, but we'll see. That's gonna take a day or two, but we'll find out. 24 hours later, the sodium silicate hadn't set up, so my refractory insulation isn't hard yet. So I put some heat to it. I got 425 degrees from the New Wave cooktop and 250 watts of infrared going down the top. I'm gonna let that run for several hours and see what happens. I should be able to build 300 degrees of heat in there. 320. We'll see. Well, that's kind of disappointing. That didn't work at all. Well, it dried it out okay. It dried it out just fine, but it didn't harden up. Oh, it's still hot. So apparently my sodium silicate wasn't thick enough or good enough, or it had a problem. So I've got another batch in the house. I'm gonna get it and we'll go from there. See, I'm gonna remix it and see. So this is the original sodium silicate that I made. It's way thicker than what I used yesterday. I'm gonna go ahead and add in some good old regular bentonite. Now this is, I bought 50 pounds of it for $11. I thought I was getting a finer grain than this, but so I'm gonna go ahead and add that in there. Maybe, I don't know. See what's gonna happen again. Unfortunately, I have to do the bottom in 3 pieces. Got them cut. Well, I'm just going to use some stove and fireplace mortar to glue them together. So then uh-oh. Okay, time out. Finally got that mortar to flow, so we got that done. I glued the kiln body, brick body together. I left off 2 joints, so I glued 2 halves, so it'll split apart, because I still have to transfer the holes from the brick to the metal body. So that's pretty good. All of the measurements worked out perfect. That'll hold easily hold a number 10 crucible. Now, if we're going to be able to get it hot enough, that's yet to be seen. Well, we'll see. I'm pretty excited at this point. We're about to go together with this thing. Alright, so just a word about this. I'm going to go ahead and insulate this with my standard mix of coal slag, bentonite clay, vermiculite, and sodium silicate. According to all the calculations, if you take the if you take the area of a trapezoid, which is from here to here, and here to here, and from here to here, and across there, and you do all of the calculations, find out the cubic inches for that, and then multiply it by 8, and then convert that to gallons. This is supposed to take 5 gallons to fill this thing. 5 gallons dry gallons. I'm gonna mix it up. I'm gonna mix up 5 gallons. We're gonna see how close those laborious calculations really are. There's, I don't know, 3 gallons, 3 heaping gallons of vermiculite, 2 heaping gallons of sand, 2 heaping gallons of clay, and it still hasn't mixed up and made a 5-gallon bucket full yet. It's going to add another 34 pounds to that rascal. It's getting heavy. Well, I put it on wheels because it's getting too heavy for me to muscle it around by myself. So I guess in retrospect, and thinking it back, I should have just paid the money and bought that insulating blanket and wrapped around this thing. I just didn't want to spend the money. Well, at this point, I'm $18 into vermiculite, and whatever the small cost of the sodium silicate is, and well, $7 for a bag of sand, and 11. I could have bought the insulation for 45 bucks. Yeah, well, here we go anyway. It would have been a lot lighter too. Live and learn. Okay, well, out of that batch, I was surprised that it filled it to within about 2 inches of what I wanted. Now that I'm out of vermiculite, I'm going to go ahead and top it off with just bentonite and sand. So then I can be done with it. Well, and sodium silicate. That first blend was took a quart of sodium silicate, and the second one is about a half a quart, and it's what the heck was it? Is a heaping gallon of bentonite and a heaping gallon of sand. So here goes nothing. I think we're gonna get this done. That did it. Finished it off. Whoop, there we go. Finished it off on the top. Let that set up, and cut my caps, and we'll start bending more sheet metal. Okay, this is introducing special tool number WTF/STFU question mark. Well, alright. Anything for a nice straight seam in sheet metal. I'll show you how it works here in a minute. This is what it does. Oh. Alright. There we go. The perfect bend. The perfect seam on there. Hey, anything for the cause. It's stuff like this that keeps me from getting this thing finished. I'll be able to cut this apart and use it for something else eventually. Got them all bent over, and wah wah wah. The brick body is 1/4 of an inch off center to the outer shell. I count that as kind of a failure. There's nothing I'm going to do to try to fix it. So I guess I have to just take the advice of some of my old friends that said, hey, it's not a perfect world. I think I've just named the thing. So this is the old cockeyed kiln. Yeah, she's just a little cockeyed. Alright. Damn it. It's coming along. You can barely see that. Well, what turned out to be 3/16 of an inch instead of 1/4 of an inch. So I gotta glue that up tomorrow. The trick to this cap is to be able to get it all level. Well, I'm gonna try and get it level, but the way this is working out, I'm gonna go ahead and groove these bricks for this wood stove gasket. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, eventually I'll just fill them back in with mortar and be on my way. Try and get that cap as smooth as I can. Now I made this, might have seen it, I made this template for the lid, the sheet metal body. And so it's not worth anything now. I'm going to have to just kind of remake it for the cap. And then, so back to the drawing board with that. Before I took that apart and cut that groove in there, I numbered those. Well, and then I cut the groove in it and cut the numbers off. So, well, you know, I figured it back out, but it's the puzzle. Dumbass. The cap's glued in. Uh-oh. That's off. The gasket's glued in. I got the spacers in place. Now I'm going to put the put this on top, and then we're going to weight it down. Well, here, we'll try that for now. I'm going to have to put some more weight. Weight it down, which should then press that gasket into place just exactly 1/4 of an inch off the deck. It might work, it might not. We'll see. Augie, what are you doing? Did you come to check it out? Kind of hard to get in here, huh? All right, come here. What are you thinking? Is it hot outside? No. I think it is hot outside. Do you think I'm being crazy? Huh? Do you? Do you think I'm being nuts? Well, okay then. See ya. Thanks for watching. We're gonna paint this thing next. Subscribe if you want to. Depends on how you look at it.